Hello again. So now let's talk about the emotions. Again, part 2, emotions part 2. We discussed it in the first chapter. What are the emotions and why do we feel them? But now when you're starting to realize, you're starting to understand what is the soul of this concept that we are connected to something deeper, some deeper consciousness. I want you to have a look on the emotions in a little bit different way now. So, imagine a straight road, right? It's going just straight, perfectly straight road. And on the side of that road, you have electric fence. You have one line of electric fence and maybe there is another and another, doesn't matter. There is just electric fence that is kind of protecting the sides of the road. And if you go straight always, you will never touch that fence, but whenever you will go side of the road, you will get hit, right, by the electric power. You will get burned a little bit. And now, whenever you are following the path of your deeper self, let's say the path of your soul, whenever you are aligned with your soul, with your authentic self, and you are just following the flow, going with the flow in your life, you are just moving straight the road, and nothing happens. It's just effortless. You are just moving without the effort. You don't even need to think, because everything is just happening perfectly, smoothly, effortlessly. Everything is just manifesting in front of you, whatever you need to follow that path. Because if you are aligned with your soul's path, the things will be just manifesting, all the things you need. Because this is the path you need to be on to be fully happy. That's your path. Every one of us have his own path. And when you will discover that path, which is becoming spiritual, which is becoming authentic, your authentic self, becoming like a child, then you are following that path and you are fulfilled. You are happy and everything what you need is provided. And the things are happening around you that you would call miracles. Now, whenever you would go a little bit off that road, you would hit the fence. You would be hit by the electricity. You will get burned. And that's the emotions. So every time you will feel this heat, this burn, that means you went off the track. You went off the path by listening, by believing in something that is not aligned with you, that is not on your path. That it's a belief that it doesn't resonate with you, that it's not you, not for you, but you believed it. And when you believe it, you go off the track and then you hit the fence, the emotion. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's shame or a guilt. And this emotion, it's telling you, hey, you went off the track, go back. It's like a road sign. It's a help from our soul. This is why we experience the emotions, to let us know that we believed in something, we did something against us, against our true deep nature. We believed in something that's a lie. And as far as we will be believing in that lie, we will be getting hits, we will be getting hit by these electric fans until we will go back on the track. And there is many people now, that went off the track, they got hit, and they say, oh wow, I got hit, it hurt, but I need to be stronger. And they got hit again, and they got hit again. So they jump into like a tank, and they just drive in that tank through all those fences, getting hit one after another fence, one after another, just being hit all the time, and just getting, weaker and weaker and trying to be more strong, but it's just resisting, it's suffering. And at some point they are arrived to a place so exhausted, so tired, with wounds everywhere. They suffered all that journey, and they are asking themselves, how did I got here? When we don't understand what emotions are, and we are trying to suppress them, to ignore them, this is what can happen. And that was me. I tell you that. I was the man in the tank years ago. And the moment when I arrived to the place, that was my nervous breakdown. That was the days, the weeks when I was waking up crying and I didn't know what's going on. Actually not crying because I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. I was just feeling like dead. And when we start to learn how to listen to those emotions and go back, accepting every emotion, being grateful for every emotion that is telling us, hey, you feel me because you believe in something that is not true. Change it. Change the belief. And I will explain you how this process of suppressing emotion more or less initiates, how it starts. So imagine there is a child, pure child. He just learned how to speak and how to understand, the language. And someone, let's say a teacher or a parent, is telling him, you are not like you're supposed to be, you should act better. But the kid is playing, he doesn't care, he's just going with its flow. But then another person is telling him again, you are not like you're supposed to be, you're wrong. And the kid is like, but he felt something, but felt it, and he's playing again. And another person is telling him, you are not like you're supposed to be, you are wrong, you should be corrected. And the kid is like, wow, okay, 3 people already told me that thing, that means it must be true. And what happens then? In that moment, when he decided that this is truth, he started feeling shame. When he believed that he is wrong and he should be corrected, he's not like he's supposed to be, he started to feel shame. He started to feel very uncomfortable emotion in his body because he believed he was this poor, this unconscious child, innocent child, took something, from other people as truth. And this emotion is there to tell him, hey, no, little kitty, this is not true. This is not truth about you. Don't believe them. Don't believe that. But then he hears it again and someone says, you have to believe me because I'm older than you, I'm wiser than you, you know nothing because you have 3-year-old, you know nothing about the life, so you listen to me and you are wrong and you are too correct, you have to act like this now. So what he has to do with this emotion, with this shame? This shame is screaming to him, this is not true, change that belief. And the kid, what does? He says, okay, but I have to suppress it because they are telling me this is the truth. So what I have to do to not feel that shame, I have to start suppressing it. And he starts suppressing the shame, he starts suppressing the guilt, he starts suppressing the fear, the apathy, the grief, the anger, all of the emotions. And he's becoming more and more numb, the more thoughts appearing in his head, and he's growing up. And then he goes into alcohol. He needs to go out every, let's say, few days just to drink. Then he starts smoking, just to not feel those emotions. Those beautiful, valuable emotions that were telling him from the beginning that he is beautiful, he is not to correct, he's amazing, he's just so loving, everyone loves him, he loves everyone, he's perfect, he's so abundant, he shouldn't be scared of anything because he's always safe. All of this knowledge he throws to the trash because he learned that this is his truth from other people. And that's what is spirituality now. Using those emotions as a guidance. This is the only guidance you basically need to become a child again. Start listening to the emotions. And with time, when you are becoming more and more sensitive, more and more vulnerable, the more you can feel, you can be more precise with those emotions. You can catch them with every time there is some little disalignment with your own path. And I'm telling this from my own experience. The more I was getting sensitive, the more I was able to catch those little things whenever I was going off my track. And in my life, everything started to make sense. Everything was just happening more and more effortless. I was finding myself in the states when I was saying, my God, I feel like a child. And not only me, the people I was working with, it took few weeks of just listening, finally accepting the emotions and letting them flow. It took weeks when they said, wow, I feel like a child. One, the person I was working with, he had suicidal thoughts. After a few weeks with me, he said, man, I cannot believe I just go play, basketball, and I'm playing until the late evening when it's dark and I still have energy. I don't know what happens, and my body stops to ache, and I have really so much power now, and I'm happier every day. After few weeks of just listening to those emotions, to that fear that he had. He was afraid to think about the dark thoughts he had. He was always running away and suppressing it and panicking that they are there. We just changed one thing. We accepted them. We started to feel them, listening to them, and just allowing them to be and even get stronger. Few weeks. I would say it was like 2 weeks. And this process is magical, and it works. So this is what I would like you to understand again. What are the emotions? It's a guidance, straight from our soul. It's a direct message. Direct message from our soul, every emotion, to change what we are believing. To change the belief, because we went off the track a little bit, so we got hit. Every time from now on, when you get triggered and you feel emotion, remember, you feel it because you believed it's in something that it doesn't serve you. You believed in something that is not true about yourself. And I leave it like this for now, to let it sink, let it digest. Don't run with the course. And you will hear me next time, next video.